Welcome into the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. And right off the bat, I want to tell you that this is one of two podcasts this weekend because of the big card at Santa Anita, headlined by the Grade 1 Santa Anita Gold Cup, which, of course, used to be run at Hollywood Park in the summer. So they have multiple stakes races, graded stakes races that we're going to take a look at on this podcast, and then a separate one for stakes races elsewhere around the country. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman, and we will start with race number 5 on the Santa Anita Saturday card, which is the Grade 2 Royal Heroine on the turf. Distance a mile, fillies and mares 3 and up. And I couldn't come up with a strong opinion in here. What about you?
I've got an opinion, but it's not. I think it's a good betting race. And this is actually the first race of their pick 6, so we're not going to give out a pick 4 today. But Santa Anita, every once in a while, has a huge pick 6 carryover going in. So watch on Friday and see if they don't hit it. So you might have a nice payoff here. So this is the first race with pick 6. I think they close out with a couple of optional claimers or whatever. So there's 4 straight stakes races. I like Wishing Gate a little bit. Gary Stevens takes the mount back. The horse hadn't been out since January and went off at 4-5 in the Sunshine Millions at Gulfstream. But Tom Proctor's a great trainer, getting them up ready off the layoff, and I think she was well meant last year. She came within a 3/4 of a length of winning the Del Mar Oaks Discreet Mark beater, and then the San Clemente handicap, she won that over Unusual Way and Iotapa. So she's beaten some really good fillies. So I'm going to say Wishing Gate might be ready off a short layoff. The other horses in here, I can make a case for Kathleen Rose, especially if she gets the lead from the outside. She's shown speed the last 3 races. She hadn't been behind at any call the last 3 races. So if Maldonado gets her out the gate, she might be tough to catch. So I'm going to box Wishing Gate and Kathleen Rose. The other horses, Moon's My Name and Perenda, have a shot. And the Euro shipper, Duchessa, for Kent DeSormo, is kind of intriguing. Coming from France, you always take a look at those horses coming over. She ran in April at Longchamp. So I think she's got a shot. But I'm going to take Wishing Gate on top of Kathleen Rose. I
ended up with the same one for my win pick. All 4 of her wins have been at the 1 mile distance. So I like that. Good record at Santa Anita. And I think as a 4-year-old, she still may have some upside left. So I like Wishing Gate, number 3. The 4 Redress the Balance intrigues me just a little bit. Nakatani is so good on the turf, and it's going to be a double-digit price most likely. And I'm going to key Wishing Gate in exactas with the 4 Redress the Balance, the 1 Stormy Lucy, and the 6 Moon's My Name. And I'm going to go against the horses that figure on form but are drawn outside in the 1 mile race. I'm going to go against them just because of post position. Wishing Gate's the one for me in the 5th race. 6th race. One of 2 Grade 1s they have. It's the Grade 1 Triple Bend, 3-year-olds and up at 7 furlongs. And you've got horses like Sahara Sky and Drill in here, but I think that they are not at their best right now, those older, classier types. So I ended up coming to the 6-horse Cyclometer. Started to go with Baffert, the 1, to classify, but I think a little value on the 6 Cyclometer. Last 2 have been outstanding. 4 of his 6 lifetime wins have come at Santa Anita, and you're going to get a little more value than you will on Baffert. Declassifies the other one that I liked in here, moving up in class, but only his 5th start, so should have some room for improvement. So I think it's more of an up-and-comer in here rather than one of the old class horses. So I'll take Cyclometer to win, key him in exactas with the 1 to classify, the 3 Gladding, and the 4 Sahara Sky. What about you?
I'm going to take the up-and-comers, but I'm going to put Sahara Sky on top of them. The order I have is Sahara Sky, the 4 on top of the 6 Cyclometer, the 1 declassified. Declassified is lightly raced, and Baffert, the horse has 3 triple-digit buyers, have 1 bad race, and has been there right there every time. So you got to look at that horse. But Sahara Sky is the old class horse, and 6-year-old didn't run well at Churchill last time out, but ran really well in Carter. Only got beat a length and a half. So I'm going to take Sahara Sky on top, but I'm going to use your horses underneath.
7th race, Grade 3 Senorita, and this is for fillies, and I think it's a mile on the 16th, I believe. I don't have it here in front of me, but I thought this was a mile, flat mile, okay. Mm-hmm. And this was a race that I didn't have a real strong opinion on. Who did you land on?
Well, the horse that I liked is Clinor ran well last year, and Doug O'Neill, this horse she ran 1 time, got beat in the Ultra Fleet at Santa Anita at 6.5 furlongs down the hill. This is a mile. And at a mile last year, she won 3 in a row, 2 at Del Mar and 1 at Santa Anita, including the Surfer Girl. So if she gets back to that form, I think she's got an edge here. But it's a good betting race, and I wouldn't go very thin if I were playing a pick 6. Lemon d'Oro intrigues me a little bit. I always like a Lemon Drop kid on the turf. Her first time on the turf, she wasn't very good. They shifted her to synthetic at Keeneland, and she actually broke her maiden here. Went back to Hollywood Park, and now she tries the turf again. As a 2-year-old, she wasn't very good. I think she's going to be better as a 3-year-old. Her form is really good right now, and I think she's got a shot. And Ravenna, the other horse, is dangerous at a price. Back to turf off a 3-race win streak on other surfaces. So Clenor, the 8, on top of Lemon d'Oro, the 10, and Ravenna, the 9.
Clenor's probably guaranteed to win this because I'm not going to pick her, and I've burned money on her in the past, so makes them almost guaranteed. I ended up going with the 7, Famous Alice. Shipped her over to Penn National. She didn't run very well, but I think she was too far back in that race, and now gets back home. And I think the race 2 back at Santa Anita on this turf course in late April would make her pretty salty in here, and I think she can get back to that form coming back home for Proctor. So the 7, Famous Alice, I'm going to take, and I'm going to use her, key her in exactas with Hollendorfer's 2 horses, Burning Arch and Morning Fix. So if I hit this, I think I'll get a little bit of a decent price in the exacta. But I just thought I think this is definitely a spread race if you're betting, horizontal wagers, pick 6, whatever. Because I don't think there's any real standout in this one. 8th race is the Grade 1 Gold Cup, and you've got Game On Dude in here as the favorite. Does he stand out for you?
I've never picked Game On Dude. He's won 16 races, and I don't think I've picked him in one. I can't figure him out. I didn't like him in Santa Anita Handicap, but he wins for fun over Will Take Charge, and then he comes back in the Charlestown Classic, which he won 2 years ago, and Imperative beats it. So I got no idea which one's going to show up. I'm not going to pick him again. I'm going to take Fury Capri. Clubhouse Ride, it sets up well for Clubhouse Ride. If you just look at the pace, and Amon Dude are going to go out and beat each other, Clubhouse Ride comes along and gets them. But Clubhouse Ride doesn't seem to get there very often. So I'm going to think that the 1.25 miles, actually, Fury Capri came back on Clubhouse Ride the last time at 1.8 miles, and I'm going to think that he's going to like the distance a little bit more. So take him in a little upset over Game On Dude and Clubhouse Ride in 2nd and 3rd. Imperative, I can't imagine that he repeats what he did at Charlestown because he never ran that well before. He went from a 90 buyer to a 107, and I can't imagine he'll come back in that good a shape from Charlestown. The Peruvian horse is intriguing a little bit, but I think it's a 3-horse race with a Game On Dude, Fury Capri, and Clubhouse Ride. I'm going to pick against him again.
I'm right there with you. I like the idea of a 4-year-old Fury Capri versus a 7-year-old Game On Dude who's kind of got that in and out form at this age. So the other thing I like about Fury Capri is they switched to Gary Stevens, and I think he's really good. Well, he's really good in a lot of different types of horses, but especially on a speed horse. And I think he takes it. Game On Dude looks like in his more recent races hasn't been a straight to the lead type, and I can see Fury Capri Stevens seizing the lead and holding off Game On Dude and Clubhouse Ride. So same for me. Fury Capri to win. Use him in exactas with Game On Dude and Clubhouse Ride. And I think you'll get a decent price on Fury Capri because of the question about the distance. I think the money will show on those other 2 more so than on the 2 Fury Capri. So good card at Santa Anita on Saturday. And, of course, keep your Keeneland Select accounts funded to take advantage of it, or head on out to Keeneland for simulcasting. Remember, it's down with the construction and things that are going on. It's down in the equestrian room where simulcasting is now taking place. And we have another podcast that you can check out for the other stakes races around the country on Saturday. That's the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.